Thursday, January 29th, 2025. It is 4:34 p.m. This meeting is being recorded, and the meeting is being audio and video recorded and will be broadcast on Focus Springfield. Roll call attendance: Commissioner Birdie. Here. Commissioner Fernandez.
Here.
Commissioner Jackson.
Here.
Commissioner Roldan.
Here.
Commissioner Changiz.
Here. All right, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Whoop.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Play ball. Okay, we're going to, before we get into the approval of the minutes or the new business, we have Rhonda Latney, did I say that right? Would like to speak to the board?
Yes, thank you.
Got the floor. I know.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm thankful that I'm able to finally attend your meeting. For the past 4 years, Mr. Raymond Rainey, myself, has been going to the city to bring attention to the elderly abuse, fraud, and homicides of his 107-year-old aunt, who is the oldest living resident in the city of Springfield. Back in May of 2020, I have filed a complaint with Sergeant Karen Simmons of the Special Victims Unit regarding her abuse and a person by the name of James Charles Votes, who was impersonating to be her nephew. After Sergeant Karen Simmons had an investigation done, the case ended up being a Commonwealth versus James Votes and a felony charge. So to move forward, because of the inconsistencies within the system, no charges, and it has not properly been investigated by James Charles Votes of what has taken place with these elders in our city. I filed a complaint back in 2024 with the Internal Investigation Unit because it keeps coming up, and every time we file something, it's always shut down. There's not been a correct open investigation because we keep getting the same answer response all the time. And I know personally, because I'm a witness to everything that's been going on, and they have covered this up through the city of Springfield, beginning with, as I said, Sergeant Karen Simmons of the Special Victims Unit, District Attorney Anthony Giuliani, Assistant District Attorney Joan O'Brien, James Stream, Hillary Sullivan, Michael Small, and now recently with Clarissa Wright. We are asking the board to present the documentation to look into these inconsistencies of the Springfield Special Victims Unit hiding information, not filing false complaints against Wayman Rainey and myself, and against 107-year-old Berta Howard for exposing this elder abuse and fraud that is major here in the city of Springfield. So what we would like to know is, how do we take our complaint now? Because when I gave it to the Internal Investigation Unit, the procedures and the consent decree where they were supposed to give me a response to it did not meet those requirements. And so to my understanding, my next thing is to bring it to the Board of Commissioners to look into this data that I have here, to look to what's been going on with your oldest person in the city of Springfield, due to this elder abuse, fraud, and scam, has been buried in Oak Grove Cemetery in an unmarked grave. She was a volunteer for the Springfield Public School System. You can Google her name, Berta Howard, also known as Dolly Howard. And when the investigation was brought into her abuse in 2020, she used to be in the newspaper, but after the investigation, she went dead. You never heard nothing else about her 108th birthday, 109th birthday, and the way she was treated and just thrown in an unmarked grave with no accolades from Mayor Sano, from a church or anybody in this community that knew her very well. So we would like to know, how do we approach the Board of Commissioners to have an open investigation into these crimes that's against the elders? Thank you.
Okay,
I would like to say something, but once again, these charges and these crimes are taking place against me right now. And what I have been trying to do is get the attention of at least the Board of Commission so that I can give this evidence, this incriminating evidence that my 109-year-old aunt gave to me that exposed this crime that they were committing on her and her son. These two people have lost their life, but when she was alive and gave up this information, she ended up losing her life, and the person that was another victim ended up losing theirs. This is a Springfield, Commonwealth of Massachusetts program, the Greater Springfield Senior Services program. No other organizations here in this city is responsible for our seniors, but these two organizations. And that's the Executive Office of Elderly Affairs out of Boston and the Greater Springfield Senior Services. You guys were given, I believe, $450 million to make sure that this kind of crime would stop here in the city, because you did an audit in 2018 about this particular crime that's been taking place against our elderly. Now, right now, they're withholding my generational wealth that belongs to my 109-year-old aunt. We have a lot of money that's being stolen right now, right this minute. And I'm asking, who in Springfield do I bring this heinous crime to, so that one, I can collect on my inheritance that my aunt left me, and two, we can get some justification for her losing her life because she exposed this crime. What organization here in Springfield, law enforcement, is responsible for investigating something of the sort? Mr. James Votes has impersonated not only to my family, but to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, that he's the owner of the residence that I own now.
Yes.
I can't go home to my house. City of Springfield has taken all my vehicles from me. I have 4 residences that belongs to me, that should have been deeded to me. I can't go get them, but who's the person that's saying they own these residences? I'm saying to the city, it's the person that took the life of these individuals. And
but-
who do I need to see and talk to get this investigated?
You do realize that all we can concern ourselves with is the criminal part. And our investigators are the Internal Investigation Unit, which we look at everything they give us, and to be honest with you, we have not ever seen them not investigate anything to the fullest that was given to them.
I can tell you why.
What?
Because what they have done is every time I go there, they lock me up inside of Ludlow, never being arrested by the Springfield Police Department. I got arrested by Nicola Pucci, whatever his name is, over here in Ludlow. They came and picked me up out of a hospital, put me inside Ludlow for 10 days.
See
And
that?
I'm telling them that this is the crime, that I'm inside of court, sir.
We have no control over those.
I'm in court with the DA, right? Ain't that people that you guys investigate, and once you find there's a crime that takes place, you bring it to court. So I'm in court already. I done made it past you guys. She done made it past you guys. We got to a judge.
Then, again, all,
And so the judge is the people, the police officer, like she said, Simmons is the people that are actually committing this crime.
if,
And then they're using their position as a police officer, as a judge, as a DA, to cover up the crime that these other police officers committed. Who
If-
do I report that to?
if there's a crime by an officer, it has to go to IIU.
I get that, but
And they investigate it, and they bring it to us. That's how it's done.
Fingers, but this is why this young lady
Well,
was.
right, but that doesn't, but we don't investigate cases. That's not our position.
Correct, but when I did send it to the Internal Investigation Unit, and they came back saying that there was no crime,
Right.
that they didn't do
And-
anything
and-
wrong, when here's the documentation.
But I'm sorry at that, but to be honest, I wouldn't think of questioning their investigation, because they don't, because we have never seen anything for years. We have never seen them,
Let's not do the old charge no more. You never seen it. I have all this information to present, especially if you have never seen it.
It has to go to IIU, who'll bring
No,
it
I'm
to
talking about
us.
a crime against,
I-
at this point, it's gonna be a crime against the people that took the life of our brother Howard, a 109-year-old.
But
We're
that-
talking about,
That's something we can't control, that part.
where do I go to report this crime?
Again, if
Today.
it's involved an officer, you go to IIU. Sir, sure we're not telling just you. If I thought I saw a crime by a Springfield officer, I'd actually report it to IIU to investigate, then we bring it to the board. That's all we can do as a board, and it may not be very satisfying to you, but that's all we can do.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm reporting that Springfield has a serial killer, and he has killed 4 senior citizens. Who do I report that to?
That goes to the police
That's the
department.
brand
It has to go to the police
All right,
department. There is nothing we can do.
What officer in the police department do I
Go,
report that?
you go down to the police station and report it if it's a
Last
crime.
time I did that, I tried to talk to Mr. Akers. He could show you on the phone. I repeatedly for 2 weeks called there, asking to set up a meeting before I can go there. Because all I want to do at this point is go home. If you guys are saying there's no crime that's been committed, let me just go back into my house. And if I find the person that took the life of my aunt and her son inside my house right now, who do I call?
Again,
Call the
you-
police, right?
yeah.
But what I'm doing now is I'm going to the police before I go home to my home, right? And there's a big crime that's gonna take place in this city. Because the person, I believe, that took my aunt's life and her son's life are in our property right now with all our possessions in it.
Sorry, again,
And
yeah,
I'm just reporting this.
And I'm telling
Only
you,
like said, this is
super-
being reported
super-
So that somebody can look into this if I can't bring it to the commissioners that are sitting right
you,
here.
you can,
Hold on.
but there's a system to get it to us.
What is that?
And I just explained it to you. If it involves an officer,
Point of order.
I don't want to get into
I
persons.
can give it to you right now, I can give you.
Point of order. Point of order.
I don't investigate, sir.
Point of
That's what
order.
we don't do.
Point of
We
order.
don't.
Point of order.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think we're gonna be going back and forth a lot here. I think you need to go to the police department and report it. Start from scratch. Report to IIU. If it's a crime that you believe is gonna happen, call the police, show up. If it's your house and you have all the legal rights, as you say,
That's right.
if you have all the legal rights, call the police department, wait until they get there, and then approach that situation that way.
And I'm trying to
We can't tell you,
serial killer
we
already
can,
over
but
there.
we can't tell you what to do after that, right?
I'm reporting a crime, and
But we want you to report.
I believe that I can't have, I got a room full of cops. And
No,
I
you
can't tell you
don't,
that
but-
you guys have a serial killer running through your city that I believe at this point, the city is trying to cover up. Because the city, at the end of the day, is being held responsible for giving this man my aunt's property.
Sir,
And
if-
then he received all these federal funding from the
That's-
city here to run these illegal assisted living residents that's going on in this city. I'm telling you point blank period, they ran an illegal assisted resident out of my residence right now. So when we go to 126 Valley Road and 136 Valley Road, you're gonna find out historically there's been a elderly assisted living residence program that was ran illegally for 5 years at the minimum. And at least 10 senior citizens that ran through this program that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has funded.
Sir, again,
So,
I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not
saying you're wrong
saying,
either.
what I'm telling you though, you have to go through the police department. That is not, we're not investigators.
so here's the paperwork that showed, I did take it to the Springfield Police.
Well, then if they haven't decided there's a crime, we can't,
But they did decide
Do
to
it.
crime. And here's my documentation when I reported it back in 2020. Sergeant Karen Simmons of the Special Victims Unit assigned Detective Gregory McCain on May 18th, and it's incident number 25432, for a warrant for James Charles Votes.
well,
He was charged with a felony charge.
yes.
Sergeant Karen Simmons, knowing that I did this, on June 3rd, used excessive force, had me arrested on a fraudulent charge by James Charles Votes that she investigated. As a matter of fact, Judge Payne
was the judge on her case. And he was one of the people that signed the consent decree.
But-
Sergeant Lieutenant Cheryl Caparu was the police officer that was in charge. She signed the consent decree. Mayor Sano knew Alberta Howard personally because she was a long-term school volunteer. He knows about it. So you're talking about us going to these, when we went through these same procedures, did everything you said. I even reported to the district attorney's office in Boston. I reported to the FBI. We have took every account, but here's the Commonwealth we're fighting against for them to protect themselves. And I've been in the United States Army for 4 years. The greatest battle I ever fought in my life for the truth of what was reported, that the Special Investigating Unit did, who's a prosecution team for the district attorney, failed these elders and us. So,
But none of those things are within our power to change, is what I'm trying to tell you. Well, that's okay. That's okay.
Who do we get if you guys don't bring the charges against these people?
We can't do it.
Who's we can't do it? Who's the name of the?
I can't do it. I don't think any other commissioner can do it.
We have no authority unless there's investigation.
once again, we
The
have to.
superintendent.
3 times.
They're the main ones doing the crime.
So
They're the ones doing the crime.
So if they're the criminal, we gotta go to.
you
the
go to
criminal
FBI and
court
did all that, right? You diligent?
I went to the internal,
I
I
don't-
did everything you said. I
Larry
was supposed to
Akers, I
do.
think, is
And
a
for
good
me to have to
superintendent.
sit here
I think he'll
and
take
look
care
at
of it.
these people and these positions that's doing this crime against a 107-year-old Alberta Dolly Howard, the oldest person in the city of Springfield, and you are just sitting here like she doesn't exist. And what you can't do, you haven't, because you're all part of the same system. I've been trying to contact all of you for 2 years. I've called you, I've emailed you, I spoke to you in person.
You spoke to me in
and I spoke to
person,
you when
yes.
we was at the church about it.
And I asked,
And everybody is quiet
and
about
I
it,
asked
but
the
we can
question,
take
and I asked the question that you
Yes.
asked me to ask. And that's the answer I received.
Yeah, and I went through those, and we have exhausted everything, and we're seeing how, and it was the district attorney, Hillary Sullivan, that Alinali Prosecutor, to have the charges dismissed. To have the charges dismissed.
Again.
And this is the, but I am gonna call Donald Trump. Now that he's back in office, I'm gonna get with him to open back up this consent decree and look at every office in the Springfield Police Department. Because all you talk about is gun violence, drugs, and you dismiss the elders? Please.
No.
She was 107 and she had a restraining order given to her by Judge Sabbs. Judge Patrick Sabbs
Yes.
gave her a restraining order, and all this criminal activity that they did after that was while she had a restraining order. Instead of them honoring her restraining order, they took her out of her home at the age of 107 and incarcerated her.
Sir,
in Redstone.
again, we have
I know,
no
but I
power
just
to
wanna
change
make
it.
sure that it's on the record of what they
Yeah,
did to
that's-
Alberta
that's fine.
Howard. They took her out of her home at the age of 107 and left her in Redstone for 500 days until she died. And then when an ambulance from East Long Meadow came over there and revived her, they got her downtown, had her on life support, and they're gonna tell the world that somebody took her off life support. The only relative that she has in this world is me, and they know it. My aunt has at least a six-figure, $10+ million inheritance sitting down that the people in here in Springfield, the name of a Jack Deal, he runs the TD Bank, he runs the biggest real estate place
Again,
inside of this city
I-
here.
I don't know the
And
person.
all of our property, I got 4 properties that you're gonna find out is gonna be attached to these people. This crime is taking place right downtown on Main Street,
Sir.
1441, where we have.
I'm
the
sorry,
FBI,
but we can't
reporting
discuss
that.
it here. There's nothing
I
to
understand
discuss.
that, But I just wanna make sure that it's on the
Well, we
record.
have a meeting we
And
have to run. Please.
I understand, but my point
Please,
is,
I'm asking.
who do I report this heinous crime to if I don't?
Superintendent
report it to you
Akers
guys?
is your man.
Akers?
He's our
All
man.
right, so on the record.
Make an
I'll go to
appointment
Mr. Akers.
at Pearl Street.
Or again, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's been going on for years.
I
got the letter.
wouldn't ask the
I got the
questions.
letters too.
Right. I asked all the questions she asked me to ask, I know. So I don't know what else we could do. I really don't. All right, where did I go with this? I got,
I'm gonna suggest that, since this is happening a lot, that we have better control in informing us, because I didn't know this until today.
yeah, well,
All right, but now I know now, so
Move on.
let's move on.
where did I lost my agenda.
Approval of prior minutes.
What minutes?
Could we have a motion?
I make a motion,
Okay.
I'm sorry. I make a motion to approve the minutes from December 11th.
And I'll second.
Okay, Commissioner Fernandez?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
Commissioner Birdie?
Yes.
Commissioner Roldan?
Yes.
Commissioner Trangizi?
Yes. What's the first one we got? Okay. No, I'm sorry.
No, no,
I
no,
had
no.
it. I don't
Please,
know what I
please,
did
take it. I can show it here.
New business?
Under new business, we have the election of the chair and the vice chair. I would entertain motions for both
Mr. Chair,
positions.
I would suggest that we keep it the same way in case unless there's other board members disagree with me, that we keep what we have currently today.
Yeah,
I second that.
yep.
That a
Gotta
motion?
vote, yeah.
That's a motion, that was a motion second.
Yep.
This is to keep.
I'm sorry.
P is
C. Jackson.
C. Jackson.
Jackson.
Okay, this is a motion to keep Commissioner Trangizi as the chair and Commissioner Jackson as the vice chair.
Correct.
Yes.
Separate votes.
Separate votes?
Okay.
So there should be
Okay,
a person to chair.
all right.
Okay, motion to keep Commissioner Trangizi as the chair, Commissioner Fernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson,
Yes.
Commissioner Birdie,
Yes.
Commissioner Roldan,
Yes.
Commissioner Trangizi.
Yes.
Somebody wanna make a motion?
Make motion for keeping our VP as
C. Jackson.
L.C. Jackson.
I second it.
Okay, this is to keep the vice chair as Commissioner Jackson, Commissioner Fernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson.
Yes.
Commissioner Birdie.
Yes.
Commissioner Roldan.
Yes.
Commissioner Trangizi.
Yes. All right.
Date and location for the annual meeting.
Yes, that's the next thing. We were scheduled to have a meeting March 12th. We're gonna make it our annual meeting because we're gonna have a quick board meeting before, and then we can let the public talk to us about anything of interest. We're gonna have it at Raymond Jordan Center, 6 to 7:30 is the board.
7:30?
Yeah, 6 to 7:30.
I would
Oh,
say
6 or
six,
7:30,
six,
okay.
six. Yes.
Yeah, 6
sorry.
to 7:30,
6
just
to
an hour and
7,
a
that's
half,
what he's
yeah.
saying, yeah.
Are you guys, everyone,
I'm okay.
the commission as a group? If you want to have anything to say that evening, any commissioner, all of us the same, about, I don't know, training, what we do, how we meet, have it ready, and we'll present all that stuff, then we'll open it up for questions on the annual report, so that we let them know what we've been working on and our training and all of that, so I think it'd be a good location to do it. We did well last time there, I thought. We had a good crowd.
We got a microphone this time?
Yeah, we need a microphone. Good memory, see, I forgot about that.
Old business.
Okay, any old business that anybody wants to discuss? Wants to bring up? Thank you.
I would like to
You're
talk
welcome.
about our training. It was really nice
Oh, it was
the other
really
day.
nice training,
It was,
yeah.
get to see how the officers get trained and be able to go to the simulation was really
You a
interesting.
felon, you shot
I'm a
somebody.
felon, yeah.
The Milo
that
was
one.
pretty good, yeah,
Yeah, it was-
everything
it
was
a
good.
training,
I
yeah.
shot somebody too.
I think we're getting pretty good training now. I like the
Absolutely.
training we're getting. They're doing a good job of it from the academy, the police academy. I agree
Go
with
into
that one.
executive session.
I think we need a vote
I make a vote
to go into executive
session.
session.
And not to come back out of this,
And,
not to come back.
no, we don't have to come back out of it, no.
And I can read motion.
I second it.
Ready?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna read it. Ready?
Yes.
This is, do I do the vote first?
No, no.
I'm gonna read it first. Motion to go into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30C, Section 31A, for the following purpose. 1, special order number 24-32 rules and regulations. The board intends to enter executive sessions pursuant to Mass General Law 30A, Section 21A, 1, to discuss and vote whether to hold a hearing at a future date which involves the discipline or dismissal of or complaints or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual in the matter of special order number 24-32, unless the employee requests an open session, and number 2, special order number 23-181, rules and regulations. The board intends to enter into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law 30A, Section 21A1, to hold hearing to discuss the discipline or dismissal of or complaint or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual in the matter of special order number 23-181, unless the employee requests an open session. If the hearing, discussion, and vote is held in executive session, the Board of Police Commissioner will not reconvene in open session following the conclusion of the executive session. So I made the motion. Second? Who's gonna second it? C. Jackson seconds it.
To go into executive session at 5 PM, Commissioner Fernandez?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
Commissioner Birdie?
Yes.
Commissioner Roldan?
Yes.
Commissioner Chandy?
Yes.